Halloween Eve and night are the perfect time to get together with friends, stock up on treats, and share the creepiest stories, some made up, and some that might just be true. And if you ever run out of ideas, you can always watch a scary movie. We've put together a list of the most iconic horror films of all time. Movies Inside Out presents
the best Halloween movies.
Sleepy Hollow. Scary stories have terrified people since the beginning of time. Years and centuries passed, customs and traditions changed, but one thing always stayed the same: mystery has always fascinated and frightened humanity. This masterpiece by Tim Burton is not just a supernatural horror film, but something far greater, captivating, distinctive, and truly one of a kind. It's a dark fairy tale for adults, one that will always both terrify and mesmerize its viewers. The lead role was brilliantly played by Johnny Depp. His character travels to Sleepy Hollow to investigate a series of murders committed by a headless horseman. At first glance, it seems obvious who's behind these crimes, but as the story unfolds, the plot takes such a sharp turn that every assumption collapses. The film pulls you in completely, making you feel like a part of the story as you watch breathlessly until the very end. Filled with dark humor, romance, and gothic horror, Sleepy Hollow is an absolute Halloween essential. Trick or Treat. This movie is a real gem for a cozy evening, or even better, a pre-Halloween night. The film weaves together 4 stories that take place on Halloween night in a small Ohio town, one about a strange schoolteacher, about a group of kids, a young woman, and an old man. All these tales are connected by the presence of Sam, a mysterious figure in pajamas with a burlap sack over his head. He silently watches to ensure that every Halloween tradition is followed, and punishes those who dare to break them. Trick or Treat is one of those films you'll want to watch twice, maybe even 3 times. It's not particularly terrifying, it might only scare children or especially sensitive teens, but it has an eerie charm that lingers. And if you ever hear those same stories while standing on the edge of an abandoned quarry on Halloween night, surrounded by thick fog, even the bravest among you might swear they can hear a child's laughter echoing from the dark. Hocus Pocus. This American horror comedy starring Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, and Kathy Najimy is the perfect backdrop for a Halloween dinner. The movie is packed with all the beloved elements of a classic spooky tale: an old mansion, a black cat, and hook-nosed witches who draw you into the magical spirit of the holiday. Hocus Pocus can be watched 1,000 times and never gets old, and that says a lot. The humor is fantastic, making you laugh out loud every single time. Fun fact: after filming, Sarah Jessica Parker began researching her family history and discovered that one of her ancestors had lived in Salem and had actually been accused of witchcraft, but miraculously escaped being burned at the stake. It. The film is based on Stephen King's legendary novel. It has been adapted more than once, but the 2017 version is widely considered the best. During its opening weekend alone, the movie grossed $124 million in the United States, setting a box office record for horror films. Just 2 weeks later, it broke another record, becoming the highest-grossing horror movie in American cinema history, surpassing The Exorcist. At the center of the story are 7 teenagers from the town of Derry, where children have been disappearing for years. The one responsible is the terrifying entity known as It, which takes the form of the horrifying clown Pennywise. From the very first scene to the closing credits, the film keeps you on edge. It creates an indescribable feeling: you're terrified, yet you can't look away, compelled to watch until the very end. Happy Death Day. What would you do if you had to relive the same day over and over again? Would you try to uncover the reason behind it, and find a way to make tomorrow finally come? The classic film Groundhog Day set the standard for this kind of story. But imagine combining Groundhog Day with Scream. That's exactly what the creators of the horror comedy slasher Happy Death Day did. The movie follows a young woman who is murdered by a masked killer on her birthday, only to wake up the next morning and relive the same day again and again, trapped in a time loop. Each scene reminds viewers of the central mystery: who is the killer? a testament to the clever writing behind the film. Critics praised its stylish direction, which comes as no surprise since the movie was helmed by Christopher Landon, a music video director known for hits like Blood and Chocolate and Paranormal Activity 2. Coraline. The hauntingly beautiful atmosphere of the otherworld draws you in from the very first moments of this stop-motion animated film. The story follows Coraline, a young girl who moves with her parents to an old town called Ashland, where she discovers a secret door leading to a parallel world where every inhabitant has buttons instead of eyes. The film is filled with references to ancient symbols of dark forces and the eternal battle between good and evil. Visually stunning, sometimes eerie, yet deeply meaningful, Coraline explores the danger of blindly chasing wonder and magic at the cost of losing touch with reality. It's worth noting that the movie was nominated for an Academy Award and ranks as the third highest-grossing stop-motion animated film of all time. The Others. A mysterious mansion surrounded by the misty landscapes of the French countryside sets the perfect Halloween mood. Directed by the brilliant visual storyteller Alejandro Amenabar, the film centers on a family living in a secluded estate, a mother named Grace and her 2 children. As the story unfolds, they begin to sense that their home is haunted, leading to shocking revelations that completely change everything they believed. The music complements the atmosphere perfectly, amplifying the suspense and emotional tension. The ending is so unexpected and powerful that it leaves you wanting to watch the film all over again. The Others won numerous awards, and Nicole Kidman earned a Golden Globe for her outstanding performance. So, which movie will you be watching this Halloween?